Alright guys, welcome to the Movie Maker tutorial. It's going to tell you how to capture video from your camera and get it to Movie Maker, use the Video Clip Copier tool, and then get it to your video drive. So when you log out at the end of the day, you won't lose your footage. First, when you plug in a camera, you're going to get this little window that says Capture Video. That's fine. I'll go ahead and select that. You want to give your video a unique name. So don't use Untitled. There's a possibility that it can be written over if you use that over again. You only have one choice. You can only select the shared video folder. Microsoft writes its program so that it's going to force you to save it to the C drive, and our school will allow that, but you don't have access to the C drive. So we've written a program called Video Clip Copier that will pull it from the C drive and put it in your capture folder. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So you leave it on the shared drive initially. You can choose the best quality, that's fine, on the next screen. And you probably just want to capture parts manually. You don't need the whole tape. If you happen to make a mistake here and you do choose to capture the entire tape, you can stop it midway through and just take what you got so far. Then this will pop up. You want to rewind your video, so you can do it within this menu or you can do it manually through the camera. And you'll hit Start Capture and it'll start to play. On your camera, there's a function key, and that'll allow you to turn down your volume. So you may not want it to play loud in class, but if it's a few seconds, you just don't need to worry about that. Then you hit Stop Capture, which is here, and then you'll hit Finish. When you hit Finish, Movie Maker will take a minute, but your footage will populate into the collections menu right here. And it'll do it based on every time you hit pause, so it's going to assume that's one clip and then record again, so you'll get any number of little clips here. Okay, here's where it's important. Even though it looks like you have your footage inside of Movie Maker here, you technically don't have that file on anything that you can access. You don't have it on your Z drive, you don't have it on your My Documents folder. It's sitting on what's called a temporary drive, the C drive. It gets wiped at the end of the day, or better yet, when you log out. So we have a lead technician in the district who created a small batch file for us that's just specific to our district, called Windows Clip Copier. In order for that to work, you have to create a capture folder on your video drive. A capture folder, capital C, on your video drive. It's going to look for that folder to take some video files and place it into. Once you have the capture folder, you can select the Video Clip Copier program from the Start menu, from the Programs menu. And a little black box will pop up. And if it flashes for a second, that's a bad sign. It means that there was no footage to grab. If it flashes for a few seconds, you can tell it's running. It's been on there, and you'll see names pop up of files that it's writing. Then it's transferring it over to the capture folder. You do not want to leave your stock footage in the capture folder. Think of it like as a loading dock at a business or a factory. Things are going to constantly be imported into that. If you happen to use the same name twice, maybe you're doing a sports interview and you constantly just call it sports interview, you're going to write over your footage. So you pull it from the capture folder into a projects folder, and that's where you should do all your work. And you should get in the habit of naming things uniquely every time. You can save your Movie Maker files in the project folder. You can make backups on the Z drive under My Documents. It's a wise thing to do. So, going back to Movie Maker, once you move your files, Movie Maker, all it is like a placeholder program. It's just making small connections through your network to the stock video. Technically, it's actually a very small file. So, once you move the location of your stock footage, and it's no longer on your temp drive, your C drive, Movie Maker doesn't know where it is. So you have to right-click and you go Browse for Missing File, go track it down. So you should know that you have it in your project folder now. When you are done with your work, you will save it to a finished segment folder. That's the one that I will go look at when I need to grab a segment from you and put it into the show. So you'll create a third folder called Finished Segments and put that in your video drive. And when you're done with your work, you'll go to the third option, which is Finish Movie. You'll select Save to My Computer. Your destination should be the Finished Segments folder. And this is where you can actually browse. So this is where you'll be able to browse in this menu and select a different location. And again, you want to give it a name up here like Sports Interviews Finished, Prom Interviews Done, something of that nature, so I know that it is done. I know that you've acknowledged that it's completed.